Yeah. All right, Sam, the last thought that I wanted to end this on was this. I asked you, what is your most unbelievable 10-year goal? And you said to me, I don't know about 10 years, but I really wanted to be a millionaire before the age of 30, right? I wanted to make $1 billion before the age of 30. That's your dream. That's your goal. Okay.
Yep.
I've made $1 billion doing what you're doing, which is playing poker. And I've done it many times over. So I did it and then I lost it all. And then I did it again. And then I lost. And then I did it. So I've done it a couple of times. So I really have this down. Okay. I wanted to give you the opportunity to ask me, if you want to ask me anything, if there's anything you're struggling, if there's any questions in your mind, how to get there faster, what are you struggling with that I could help you with here?
Honestly, for me, I think like I was saying before, the thing that slowed me down getting there, that's maybe held me back a little bit in the last year, has just been a pandemic happened and I couldn't play in casinos. And I did start learning online and playing a little bit online and made some money from that, but it's not the same and I don't enjoy it as much. It's not my passion anymore. Like live poker is the passion, I guess. What would you say the most important combination of things are to make big money with poker? So whether that's logistics of living close to a place where there's the right level of game for you that is going to be a good game. That's obviously going to be one of the big ones, right? Mental game stuff and managing your money, all of that kind of thing. I've never been very good at managing bankroll. I just try and make more rather than spend less.
Okay. All right. So let me break it down for you. What I figured out after putting in 11 years into poker. Okay. Making money in poker comes down to 4 aspects. Okay. First is the technical game. So studying the game, GTO, programs, all that stuff. If you don't like the programs, forget about the programs, but get a technical game coach. So get in touch with Bart Henson. If you like him, tell him to coach you one-on-one. Whatever he's charging, I promise you, it's going to be worth it. You're going to make 10 times more money than that. Start with 10 hours, 5 hours, whatever you can afford, but get a coach, technical coach. Okay. Now, the second thing is mental game. Get a mental game coach. Getting a mental game coach is more important than getting a technical game coach, because what happens in mental game is your brain short circuits. While you are in the warfare that is poker, your brain will short circuit. Your emotions will launch an attack on you and you won't be able to think straight. You need to learn how to deal with that stuff. When I got a mental game coach, I still work with him. He's the best mental game coach in the world now. His name is Elliot Rowe. I don't know if you know of him. He has a program. It's like $1,000. Get that program. It's called A Game Masterclass. You do that program and you get another coach. So Elliot is very expensive. He charges like $2,000 an hour. But you could get a coach that charges like $100 an hour, $200 an hour. There's many of them. Just do a search. Get a mental game coach. The third point, which is the spine when you have to make money in poker. And I made the mistake for the first 7 years not paying attention to this aspect. It's called game selection. Okay. Never ever play in games in which there is any doubt whether you will win or not. You need to be the best player on the table or the second best. The problem with being the third best player on the table is, so a lot of the times what happened with me is I'd be playing in private games, right? And I saw that there are 4 players that are worse than me. And I look at them, I'm like, okay, there's 4 fish, so I can play in this game, right? But there were 2 players better than me. So what happened in that setting was that I would win money from the fishes, which is the 4 players that were worse than me, but then I would lose to the players that were better than me. So I was just breaking even. I would just break even or lose or slightly win for the longest time. So what I did lately in my career is I orchestrated the games in a way so that I was the best player on the table. So I organized games myself and I made sure that I was the best player on the table. And then like my graph just went up. Like you want to make $1 million in the next 5 years. I think it can be done in the next 12 months. I've done it so many times over that I think if you apply what I'm telling you, you could do it in 12 to 18 months. No problem. So game selection is the third thing. The fourth thing, it's called social game. So which means networking, basically.
Yeah.
This is where
Huge.
you can really, really get a massive edge on, because not even Phil Galfond focuses on this. Phil Galfond is also probably sitting in his house, studying the game and going deep into technical game. So obviously guys like Dan Bilzerian and Rick Solomon, these guys take massive advantage of things like, social game, networking. Even Tom Dwan, Phil Ivey, Patrick Antonius makes good use of networking. They network with guys like Paul Fua and guys, other games, and they get to those big Chinese games where the money is. And that's how you really make money, by positioning yourself in networks where you're playing. By the way, pandemic is not an excuse. While the whole pandemic was on, do you know there is an app called, so I don't want to name any apps here because we're going to broadcast this, but there are private games that happen online that you can get into.
I know.
If you had friends in places, guys like me organize games on apps. There's many apps. One of the apps you used to work for that you mentioned in my form. There's other apps like that. And if you had enough connections, you would have games to play in, even though there was a pandemic. So yeah, focus a lot on networking. Never go to a casino with headphones. Always talk to the guy next to you. Save the guy's number.
You never know what you'll find out, or you'll make like a friend with someone that can get you into a game. Or whatever. That's a really good tip.
Another hack that I would tell you is, right now, like whenever you work with Bart Henson or any other coach, or even when you're working by yourself, focus on developing an aggressive style of playing. Because if you don't play aggressive, when you start to climb stakes, you will not get into games. I promise you, no matter how much the guy likes you.
It's not a concern for me, don't worry. If anything, I'm always like, I need to chill.
Yeah. So always be on the aggressive side, even at the cost of losing money. Even if you lose money, even if you lose all your money, you still want to be on the aggressive side and network and have enough opportunities. What's going to happen if you lose all your money? If you're a good player, you can get another guy to back you, or there's always opportunities. When you're a good player, people will back you. You can make the money back. But once you get a reputation of being a tight player that nobody wants to play with, then it's really hard to get into games, and that is the death of a poker player. So yeah, definitely get a mental game coach. That's first preference, and then if you want to, you can get a technical game coach. But I think people really overestimate the importance of technical game. Technical game is not as important as positioning yourself in good games through networking. I believe,
if you're the best player in the game, then you're good enough, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna make money, of course.
Yeah.